Hello Tacticians, it's Nox here, and today we're going to have a look at a brand new game called Knights in Tight Spaces. The very first thing that you need to do when you start the game is obviously choose your main character. Now, at the beginning in the demo, all we have is the brawler and the fighter. The rest are locked, but you do come across a few more during the demo. I'm going to be choosing the brawler for this run, and you can see the initial deck that is given to you. And yes, this is very much like Slay the Spire, where you build a deck, upgrade your cards to give your hero different things to do. And in the demo there is a story that you can follow, but most of the choices are inconsequential, as really it's all about gaining gold, armor, health, or maybe even something else. As you play through the game, you have a map, again very much like Slay the Spire, where you have to choose the routes to take. We will however choose the first encounter, where we are put straight into a fight. The enemy have their turn first and manoeuvre themselves into position. We can use the Q and E keys on the keyboard to move around, and at the bottom we have the cards we have available to us. The blue indicates how many cards we can use, so here we can use 3 cards as long as they only have 1 energy each. Here you can see block has 0, so we'll be able to use that for free. The second one is momentum, which is built up over time by landing your hits. Now, if we look at our character, they are between 2 characters, and movement is probably the most important part of this game. We do not want to be in this square when the enemy have their turn, so we're going to have to use shift to move at some point. But before we do that, let's have a look at some of our other skills. We can do quick strike, which is just deal damage, a front kick, which is dealing damage and 1 push to an adjacent enemy, or we can advance and then deal 9 damage and 1 push. So that's going to be quite useful for when you want to kick people out of the room. And finally, we've got something which will knock the enemy down. So we're going to start by picking on the big guy. We'll give him a punch. We'll also kick him, and then we're going to shift to the other side of him. And we'll say your turn. Without me in their sights, the enemy repositions. These 2 spaces here indicate that we're going to get new enemies in enemies next turn. So again, we don't want to be where we're standing. If these are blocked, then they won't be able to come in, but I don't think I'll be able to get to those places at this point in time. This time we have a dash and a stomp if they're downed. We have a grapple, which is move target to any adjacent tile within the board. No combo gain, but target will turn to face away. We have a head smash, slam targets into an adjacent wall, edge or object. And finally a push, where we can push them away from us. So the only one we can use here is dash to move away, so we're going to have to use that one last. But I don't know what will happen if we push one enemy into another. They take some damage. We can't down the enemies, so what will happen? We can't choose a head smash, we can grapple. So we can grapple him. Let's put him against this open door here, as if we use the Alt key, we can see a nice red line, and if I did it the other way around, I could be pushing him out and out of the battle. Finally, we can use dash to step away. 2 more enemies appear. Now here we can see this large fella can actually attack here as well, so again we don't want to be here. This one however is free, so we should be able to move using the dash to here. Next we can use head smash on this guy to throw his head into the wall and knock him out. And with we could use shift. Let's do that to be closer to the door. As quick block is free, we'll do that to gain some armour in case we do get hit. We've got a front kick, a leg sweep, a dash and a push. I'm not sure there's anything we can do here, so let's go for the leg sweep on the big guy, knocking him down. Now we can see our hex, our square, is no longer in threat, so we can take our time with the others. We'll dash to adjacent to this one and kick him into the wall. Knocking your enemies into walls, doors, will deal extra damage, and as push, will do some more damage as well. You can see with all these damage I'm doing, I'm building up momentum. Now I don't have any cards that can utilise this momentum as of yet. Later on in the game, you certainly can. Now this guy is down, so let's do 30 damage. Well, he's not getting back up, so we can't do that. What should we do? Let's grapple with this guy and put him on top of here. And we have no offensive abilities, so we'll say end turn. The enemies will always attack whoever's in front of them, so as he was in front of his friend, he got a punch. Again, there's a quick block. We'll use that to gain some armour. Without access to a wall, we can't use a head smash. We can use the dash, which we'll be doing at the end, but we'll leg sweep one of them. Let's leg sweep this guy, which will knock him out. We'll throw a quick strike at this one, taking care of him, and we could do a dash. So let's go closer to the door, hoping that he will follow us. So he has. And now he's got something behind him, so should we now use something like a front kick, it's going to knock him into the table to deal even more damage, and we win the round. When you successfully complete a mission, you get a choice of a new card to add. Now we don't have a bow, so this time I think we'll take the quick kick, which deals damage and does some movement. As we carry on through the map, we come across some friends. Here, we're meeting a ranger. And you can either agree to have him to join you or reject. This time I'm going to agree. So let's continue with the next mission. All of the missions are on a tight space where movement is limited and you're often surrounded by enemies. Don't forget, you can always move everything around to get a better look. Choosing your heroes, who are normally a nice blue colour, but they can be other colours. Although red is always saved for the enemies, so at least you know who you need to be hitting. So we'll start off with a front kick on this bowman here, knocking him into the one behind him. You'll notice we have an additional action down here to use, and that's because we've now got an additional member in our party, and that will increase as we get more members. I'm not sure if there's anything else in the game that can increase that artificially without having additional members of your party, but this certainly has got my interest. So switching to the archer, we are going to see what we can do. Now, unfortunately, both of these can't attack the same target because of their positioning. So we're going to dash the archer away so he can use... I was going to use the twin shot, but I think I'm going to have to dash away with my brawler as well so that he doesn't get hit. And it looks like I've made a bit of a mistake because this guy looks like he can reach me. So let's just see if I can use a quick shot with my archer to kill him before he kills me. Unfortunately I fail and they have their turn. And in come even more of the enemies. What my brawler is now surrounded. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure what I need to do. So the archer is on the least health, so I think we're going to have to use shift. That will only get us behind here, so we'll probably end up using dash to move to here once we get rid of him. So we'll start off by doing a quick kick, which knocks him down. We'll dash into his space, and now I can use a combination because I can use a quick shot from my archer attacking this guy. It did knock him out, but if he hadn't died, my brawler would have joined in on the attack. Say your turn. And now it's my archer who is surrounded, so we need to get him out of there and move my brawler as well. So we'll start with a leg sweep to knock him down. We'll stomp on him. And then we're going to dash to get out of the way of these enemies. First of all, we'll move this guy, and finally, the brawler. The enemies again move to get into position. We'll start off with my brawler shifting to one position here, and with head smash I can put his head into the wall. However, we have no combo, so probably best not to use that just yet. And we'll use quick shot with my archer instead. That's built my combo by 2, and so head smash is now going to be a good option to use. Finally, the archer can dash out of the way before he's struck by this fella. Always use quick rock when you have the item, as it is free to use, and we're going to shift our brawler to be next to this thug here. Finally, we're going to use Theobald, our new ranger friend, to shoot twice and kill the final one. This time I think I'll be choosing Piercing Shot. As you progress through the missions, more of the story unfolds, but I'll let you play through it to make your decisions. Here I am going to agree to unlock the side quests. As I have mentioned, it is a bit like Slay the Spire, and quite often you have choices to make, and here we can either go to the trader or the blacksmith. If you find yourself liking this, you can wishlist this on Steam right now, and of course grab yourself the demo to have a play for yourselves. As for me, I'm eagerly awaiting this release, and I'll certainly show you more gameplay in the future.